I posted a video last week about the screaming anti-everything brigade taking offence at the 1937 film Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Disney have now responded, saying they're going to issue a questionnaire to every one of their employees to help them learn where they sit on the social hierarchy and, more importantly, how privileged they are. For the last couple of years, the term "check your privilege" has been bandied about everywhere. And of course, some privileges do exist. To deny that would be foolish. Yet according to people of a woke persuasion, I have the full set. I'm straight, white, male, and because I have no plans to get breast implants and cut my cock off, I'm also cisgendered. But if I was gay, I'd still have 3 of the 4. Yet I'm struggling to think of someone who couldn't have any of these alleged privileges. So, the first one's straight, so could be bisexual, genderqueer, but let's just go with homosexual to make it easy. White, so that's any colour other than the colour I am. Male, so I'm going to go female, but also not cisgender. So we're looking for someone who was a female but was born male. Essentially, we're looking for a black lesbian who used to be called Brian. But what about the other privileges? The ones that don't get discussed on social media or in the newspapers. Real privileges. Now for me, real privilege is living in a house which you neither own nor have to pay rent on because the council pays it for you. Real privilege is having a 50-inch television and the latest smartphone, despite not having a job. Real privilege is having children you cannot afford to raise because you know the state will do it for you. Real privilege is attending a protest, throwing bricks and bottles at the police force, and when the old bill respond, getting to say it's police brutality. Real privilege is going on social media and deliberately spreading lies about a life-saving vaccine, thus making it less likely that some people will take it and not getting fucking arrested for it. Real privilege is being able to hurl insults and labels at people and yet still paint yourself as the victim. And if you've ever come up against some of these overly woke people, it happens all the time. If you don't agree 100% with what they're saying, you're in for a fucking shower of isms and ists, racist, sexism, etc. Because to them, anyone who doesn't think the same way they do is automatically a Nazi, and they use that phrase, accusing someone of being in league with the ideas of the Third fucking Reich. I read an article yesterday titled 97% of straight men would not date a trans woman because they hate them. Hate, that's a big word. Now, attacks on trans people have gone up dramatically. That's terrible, it needs to stop. But I'm part of that 97%, not because I hate trans people, but if I was looking for another partner, number 1 on the list of things I'd be looking for is that she doesn't have a penis. The clue should be straight men, because straight men usually do not want a romantic relationship with someone who used to be, or still is, biologically male. But oddly, in the same article, it turns out that only 1.8% of straight women would have a relationship with a trans man. So women are even less tolerant than men. So why isn't that in the headline? Well, because that would be attacking women, and we live in such a misogynistic society! Yet by using the word hate, the author has said that 97% of straight men are transphobic and still made themselves to look like the victim. Last year I read an article written by a black woman who said that dating apps are inherently racist because she doesn't get as much attention from, her words, rich white men as her white friends do. Now I will say, reading the article, it seemed like she had a proper fucking attitude on her. That might be the problem. She also said that white men who date Asian women are carrying out a form of fetishised racism. So in her mind, because rich white men won't date her, that's racist, and if they do date an Asian woman, that's also racist. The problem this lady has is she's fucking mental, but once again has managed to paint herself as the victim. Just an aside, the first time I went to Birmingham, I was about 20 years old. It was for a motorcycle show. And where I'd grown up was about 98% white. So getting to Birmingham was very different. And we'd stopped in a transport cafe, and the waitress was this absolutely stunning Hindu girl. She had the sari on, she was beautiful. And she came over to the table and said, "Do you want tea or coffee?" And that fucking ruined it. A Birmingham accent cannot be sexy. And I can say that because I'm from Norfolk, so I should talk like this. This is what my native accent's like. But I realised I sound like a fucking retard, so just went generic southern. But by far, the worst people, when it comes to attaching labels to others or explaining to others how much privilege they have, is a group I've spoken about before. The woke white people. The people who go out of their way to be offended on someone else's behalf. A couple of weeks ago, I was having a conversation in which I was told that because I'm a straight, cisgendered white guy, I can never understand the struggle of people who are a different race, gender, or sexuality. But the guy telling me this was also a straight white guy. So by his own logic, he couldn't understand it either. So why was he giving me a fucking lecture? So why is any of this relevant? Well, it's because articles like the one about Disney and the other two I used as examples, they're being published every day. And for me, I think we should focus on what unites us rather than what divides us, because it's been a fucking rough year for everyone. Besides which, if I see a white guy sleeping in a cardboard box on the street, I'm not going to think, look at that privileged fucker. So when this video ends, text a friend, phone a member of your family you haven't spoken to for a few months, because in these strange times we're living in, suddenly getting a call, knowing that someone cares about you, that's real privilege. Thanks for watching. That was all very serious. Luckily, I made a load of fuck-ups making this video. And I was fucking wind. But if I was gay, I'd have to get divorced. Wind, give it a fucking rest. With an Asian woman, that's a form of racist fetishism. That's because fucking dog shit. Slipped. Oh shit. I've just split the arse in me trousers.